Hey everybody, Dave Weiss here for the Glue Bomb Show. Today I have a review for you. This is one of the kits out of this Atlantis Air, Land, and Sea Hobby gift set. I decided to build the helicopter first, and that's what I did today. I think overall it came out pretty nicely. The folks in Atlantis did a good job with this. This is a very simple build. It didn't take long at all to build, but I did work on some skills. I got this set inexpensively at Ollie's, and so I decided that was a perfect time to try some new things that I really hadn't done a lot of before. First of all, I've never built a helicopter before, and so I thought I'd put this one to work and see how I could do. And I think overall it came out pretty nice. I tried some new techniques on this. First of all, I think I had a pretty successful time doing the seams. I probably could have done a little bit better in smoothing them out, but I think overall they came out okay. It's just a simple fuselage seam going straight down the middle. Couple things that I experimented with on this one. The canopy itself was smooth. And so I decided I didn't want to have a smooth canopy. I decided I wanted to put some the metal pieces on. I looked at the diagram, the picture on the cover art, and decided to try to match it. And I did. And I used some imitation Tamiya tape. The key word there being imitation, to try and mask it off. And I think the lines got pretty straight, but the problem was the adhesive was not as good, and there was some paint bleed underneath it. So that didn't look real successful. It still looks all right. You have to look at it pretty close to see the problems, but overall, I had a good time with it, and I tried hard. And then I did something that I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to do. But I was experimenting, and so I decided to experiment. The only glass that came with this was this canopy bubble here. So these holes here were open. No glass in them. Now, I'm not sure if they were supposed to have glass or not, but I decided to try to put some glass in them. Mainly, this was an experiment to see how I could do, and I think it came out pretty well. I used the lid of a meat tray and glued it in place, and it looked pretty good. Then I masked the whole thing. I just shot it very simply with a rattle can from Testers, and after I did that, I'd been listening to the podcast, and so I decided to try another new thing, which was I clear coated the whole thing with a glossy clear to see if it would make the decals stick better, and oh my word, it went well. Now, first of all, I will say, I don't know if that was really anything special because the decals on these Atlantis kits are really good. They are really, really nice. They're thin. They lay down nicely. But this also has a lot of texture on it. There's a lot of rivets that are elevated through this, and I decided I wanted those rivets to show up rather than being sort of obscured by the decal. So I made I made the decision to try some decal solution. I got myself a bottle of Solvacet, and I decided to use it. And I have to tell you, this is the first time I used Solvacet. The decals laid down really nicely. But there was a problem. I didn't take into account the fact that the decals would take longer to dry. And as a result, I stuck my finger right in this one decal, and not just a small decal that I probably could have found, but the decal that's on the tail, this really nice Piasecki Army Mule. And I messed it up. But I decided, you know what, we're going to do a field repair here. So I just took some paint, a thin brush, and tried to make it look as if someone in the field was matching the stuff on the decal. It came out all right. It's not fantastic, but again, I was doing a lot of experimenting on this, and I'm really glad I did because I learned a few new techniques. Another thing that I experimented with was taking a silver Prismacolor pencil and using that to chip away at some of the rivets and things to give it kind of a look like the paint is starting to chip off those rivets. I also did a little bit of brush chipping on the rotors. I'm not sure that was right either. But I decided to try and figure out if that was how it would look. And again, I was experimenting. I'm going to be happy to put this one on my shelf. It looks good. It's not fantastic. It's not perfect, but it looks good. Again, a nice, simple kit. And I was able to get it pretty inexpensively. So I decided to try some techniques that I've really wanted to try on one of my more expensive kits. I decided to try it on this one first. Again, I think the folks in Atlantis are doing fantastic work. I'm sure this was an older kit from older molds, but I have to tell you the fit was impeccable, as usual. I didn't have to do a lot of seam work. I did do some, but to be honest with you, part of the reason for that is I'm really trying to get good at seam work. I don't think I'm there yet. You can see a bit of the seam there, but I'm really trying to get better at that. So I thought, you know, while I'm trying new things, I'm experimenting, I'm going to do that as well. So, again, my canopy lines didn't get quite right. They bled under the tape a little bit. But overall, a pretty successful build. And I learned a lot. I'm probably next going to put the U.S. Sherman tank together. It's a 48 scale tank. So I'm going to put that together probably fairly quickly. And again, I'm going to use it to learn some things. I have only built 2 tanks in my life, and they were tune tanks. I've never built a real tank before. So I'm going to experiment with that, and I'll show you how that works. And I'm also going to start in on another one of my Bill Campbell kits. I think that might be coming up for unboxing very soon. All right, guys, that's all I have for you for today. Have a great day. God bless. And remember, model building's supposed to be fun. I didn't have an ultra successful build on this one because I was experimenting a lot, but I did have a lot of fun. Take care, guys. Have a great day.